That is the port of Southampton. This is a cruise ship. That means this is a cruise ship vlog. We're finally back on a cruise, exactly 365 days to the day from when we were on this same ship this time last year. We're on it again, doing the exact same itinerary. This wasn't our original plan. If you don't know the full story of the original plan, I don't want to go into too much detail. We were supposed to go on a bigger cruise this year. We had to cancel it for reasons, just for reasons. Some of you know the reasons. There were reasons, and we booked this one as like our little makeup cruise. And we really enjoyed it last year. We're hopefully going to really enjoy it again this year. We've got 4 nights. We're heading over to Amsterdam. Should get to Amsterdam at some point tomorrow. We'll be there for like a day and a half, and then back to Southampton after 4 nights. It's going to be jolly good. Would you like a tour of the cabin? It is... it's 2:30. I've got my watch on upside down. It's 2:30. We left our hotel, which was over there, about an hour ago. So similar to what we found last year, coming on a cruise. The check-in is, although there was a queue, there was a lot more of a queue this year than there was last year because we were on slightly earlier. The actual process itself is so much quicker than flying. This is why we're enjoying cruises at the moment, because we can go from the hotel where we've parked our car to in another hotel room effectively in an hour, which for someone with some mobility problems is absolutely ideal. On the topic of mobility problems, if you watched our videos last year, which are on the second channel, we were trying to establish a travel channel this time last year, but if you watch the videos then, you'll have seen that we got upgraded to a mobility or disability cabin last year. This year, we didn't, and by the time we booked, there were none available. So we are just in a standard cabin this year, and it is noticeably smaller than what we had last year. I would say probably about half the size. This is the little wardrobe area. We've then got a little bathroom situation here, a little shower, toilet, you know, the whole works. You know the drill. A little place here to put stuff that goes on shelves, and a little safe. I mean, there's plenty of hanging space in the wardrobe, which is nice. There's your chance to ogle Kev, your pervs. I know you love that in these videos. But then this is where the space is noticeably less. We've obviously got the bed taking up the vast majority of the room. There's not really anywhere else to sit other than this one chair over here. We have got a little bit of a desk, a tiny little bit of a TV situation. I think somewhere there is a fridge. Well, there's supposed to be. Maybe there isn't a fridge. We had a fridge last time. Doesn't appear that we've got a fridge. I mean, we had nothing to put in the fridge last time. It might be behind this pile of stuff here. Yeah, there's the fridge. The fridge is hidden under there. We'll get to it when we've unpacked our cases. But yeah, it's not hugely spacious, but it was cheap. And that was the criteria for this trip. Once we had to cancel the big one, we didn't really want to spend too much on a replacement one. So this is the cabin, boys and girls. We'll show you around a little bit more on the ship and stuff as the video goes on. But now we haven't eaten since breakfast. It's 2:30. We're going to go and find the buffet before it gets too busy because I am starving. It's like returning home. It's all so very familiar from last year. The pool is out there, but importantly, the buffet is in here. We're at this buffet within half an hour of getting on the ship. That's called doing it properly. So first meal, we have gone for a bread roll with some roast gammon, which is going to go in the bread roll with all this salad and a few chips. We're just basically going to cram it into that and make a massive sandwich. Then I've got trifle. We also actually remembered to bring our water bottles this time, which if you did watch the videos last time is a huge advantage because we were very thirsty the whole trip last time. Though it does say don't fill water bottles up from the water dispenser. So I filled this cup up about 15 times to fill up both of our water bottles. I'm an enterprising chap, but now I must eat. Well, we've now had our delicious food top up from the buffet, and as you can see, we have unpacked. Although when we pulled back the duvet, we discovered there was a human woman in there, which still appears to be there. But we are fully unpacked. I've got my fugglers up on the wall. We've got all of our clothes nicely put away in here. Now the suitcases aren't completely covering the floor, and we've got the suitcases all underneath. There's quite a lot of space in this little dressing area. Comparing this to the accessible cabin last year, we didn't have the dressing area. So this is actually an additional space. So then we've just lost some space in the main living area. But this means I can put on all my shapewear without Anna having to see me squeeze myself into it like a sausage being put back into its skin. So that does have its benefits. And plus I've got room to spin and twirl here. This is where the suitcases were. They now fit nicely under the bed, and we've got all our stuff put away. Don't panic about the extension lead. I know you're not supposed to use extension leads on cruises, but as a CPAP user, I've filled in the form, I am allowed to have an extension lead because I'll die if I don't have one. But it is just before 5 p.m. We've actually been on the ship about 3 hours already. It's still docked in Southampton, but sail away is scheduled for 5. So any time now, we should sail away. And then I think we get to Amsterdam. I think we get to, if it's anything like last year, which so far it's been exactly like last year. So I think we get to the North Sea North Sea, what's it called? Locks. The North Sea Lock, I think it's called. So we enter the Netherlands about lunchtime. And then by about 3:30, 4 o'clock, we should be in Amsterdam. We've got a few hours of cruising down the canals first, which is always fun. And then we can have Amsterdam shenanigans. But I think I'm just going to position myself next to the human woman who's down there on the bed and play a little bit of Civilization 7 on my Steam Deck while I wait for sail away. And then at some point, we'll go and have meal 2 of 4. We might have a proper meal for the next one. We've got freedom dining this time. We didn't have freedom dining last time. Last time we actually had to have a proper food appointment and we ran away scared from the main dining room. This time we can turn up for dinner anywhere between 6 and 9:30 p.m. So I think we'll probably have a late one because we did have that lunch at like 2:30 and had a couple of platefuls of food then. But yeah, I'm ready for the sail away now. If you could let the captain know, I am ready. We're slightly later than advertised, but we are now sailing away from Southampton. It was supposed to be 5 o'clock. I think it was like 5:30, 20 to 6. It actually moved off. It's now getting on for 6:30, and we've actually moved away from the cruise terminal where we were earlier. I mean, we're still very much in Southampton. If we were parked in the multi-story, you'd still be able to see the car. But we're on the move, which means we need to go and find somewhere to have dinner. As you can see, I've snazzied myself up. What's that? You want a fit check? Of course you're going to get a fit check. There you go, boys and girls. Look at me. What a beautiful specimen. And I am now very much ready for dinner. So in a slight departure from how it worked last year, they now have virtual queuing for the restaurants. So we're currently 62nd in the queue. So we're having a little bit of a mooch around. I've just had a look in the watch shop where, because they're tax-free, the watches are absolute bargains. You can get a watch for barely £6,000. So probably not buying a watch. But this is the central atrium area, which has got, it's basically 3 floors. You've got various bars, there's a coffee shop down the bottom, obviously this big staircase, glass lift situation. Anna is telling me we're going downstairs, so it looks like we're going downstairs. She's also just found somewhere. Oh, that's just a pub over there apparently. She's also found a poster at least for somewhere that does the photos of your eyeballs that she's wanted ever since we saw them at Disneyland a few years ago. So we might find them and see if we can get our balls done. More duty-free bits and bobs here. So we've got bags, sunglasses. Now I've got some contact lenses, I can actually wear sunglasses. This is the shop I'm most interested in, the one being guarded by Shaun the Sheep, because this is where they sell sharks, and Anna loves sharks. Look at her. Loves a shark. There you go, there's a shark. We found a shark. She's already got that shark from last year. She does like those. They're like jelly cats, aren't they? Should we get ourselves some Ventura hoodies? This is where you get your snacks from. Ship snacks. Yeah. I need a ship snack. There you go. They even cater to book talk in here. That's what I'm talking about. Oh my word, boys and girls. This is not a drill. they've got Lego. I mean, it is just that one set. They've got more Playmobil. No, it's all the Paris set, but there is Lego. And also got the big minifigure heads on there as well.
I built at the old house.
Was it? Well, there you go. Wallace and Gromit paraphernalia as well. I do like the Wallace and Gromit. These are quite cool. I wish they had Lego ones of them. That would be great. I know there are some cruise ships that have Lego versions on. You can also get lady things over there as well. There you go. I'm happy. At least if we end up getting stuck on the ship forever, I can build 3 versions of Paris out of that shop. I wonder why Paris? We're not even going to Paris. Down there we have the booze shop, which has just opened, which is why there's a big queue outside that. I think that opened like 10 minutes ago. And that's where people buy their big bottles of booze to keep in their room.
Super dry one. That's what you're into.
They have some clothes over here. Anna says I have to buy super dry clothes now. I'm not into super dry now. I can just fit into it for the first time in my life. They do have Crocs as well. Reception, which I don't think we need to go to for once. We don't have any complaints. This is good. Through there we have the bar, and the casino is through there as well, I think. And then if we head down one more, it feels like we're going to be getting onto a stage of all these people there watching us when we come down. I suspect Anna's going to take a sharp right at the bottom, so we don't have to walk out into an audience. That's where you buy your cruises from. Strangely, no one in there buying a cruise 3 hours into the first night. They have a library as well, which is quite cool. There were plenty of books for sale in the shop, but if you just want to go and read in the library, you can. I don't. I've got my Kindle with me. I'm good. There you go. They're just there to taunt Anna. For those of you who don't know all of the information, the cruise we had to cancel when Football Manager was delayed until March was to the Norwegian fjords. And if you also don't know, as we were in our hotel in Southampton this morning, we got the news that Football Manager is now completely cancelled. So not only does that mean we're going to be skint for the next year, it also means we could have gone on the original Norway cruise.
New onboard Kevin things. I can see them.
Huh? What sort of Kevin things?
Second shelf.
Oh, they've got face masks. I like a face mask. We'll go in here. I mean, to be fair, I have about 5 of those exact brand with me. They live in my suitcase. I think we're good. This is where Anna bought things from last year. This is very much the girly shop. As you can see, can't take Anna anywhere. She made a purchase in the makeup shop. Strangely, she insisted on getting some men's moisturiser, which I thought was a bit odd, but wasn't going to say no. Well, we had a little bit of a play on on blackjack in the casino. Were we doing the stairs or the lift? Just to kill some time. There was no room to sit down in the pub because there was a quiz going on. So we sat down and played blackjack instead. And now we are heading to the restaurant. We just got called. It's just before 8 o'clock. Our table is ready. So let's go and have some food. The lighting in here is bonkers, by the way. So we are in. This is one of the 2 restaurants that's included in the cruise fare. So you don't have to eat in the buffet, but you don't pay any extra for this one. This is cinnamon. And I've just seen their pork pie as a starter, which I've never seen before. I would go for it, but my safe food is Caesar salad. So I'm definitely having the Caesar salad. And then we'll figure out what else we want from there. Here we go then, starters, and neither of us have varied too far from our usual favourites. I've got a Caesar salad. Anna's got tomato soup.
No. Plum tomato soup.
Sorry, plum tomato soup. And as ever, when you come into the restaurants, it's very, very small portions. Although, as people have told us on the comments for previous cruise videos, you can order like 3 things. You don't have to just have 1 plate of food. You can say, I'll have 3 steaks, please, and they'll bring you it. You can order as much as you want off the menu in here. You're not limited. I'm not going to do that because trying to maintain my newly svelte figure. But it's an option for another day, that's for sure. It's main course o'clock. I went for steak and 9 chips. Anna went for steak and 8 chips. And as she's just said to me, if I gave her 8 chips at home, she'd hit me. You're a monster. And then for dessert, we have a lemony sponge pudding. It's lemon marmalade on top and custard. Why the custard's not already on it, I don't know. I'm absolutely combining the 2. Anna went for the same thing. We both love spongy pudding. Dinner consumed. Very pleasant it was too. And we are now wandering down to where I think there's a stand-up show about to start. But we can't remember where the theatre is. It might conceivably be back the way we've just come or on a different floor. So we've got to try and find it. I suspect we got the time wrong because there's absolutely nobody in this theatre. So we've either got the time or the location wrong. Either way, I think we're just going to head back to our room.
It's too choppy.
It's a little bit up and down, and Anna's struggling a little bit with the wobbliness of it all. And I think I need to get her back up there, get some travel sickness tablets in her. And it's still only 9:30. There's plenty of time for us to get out for a third meal of the afternoon, because I've got to get my Horlicks, which they don't serve until 10:30. So I'll be down for Horlicks at some point between 10:30 and 2:30. Well, I figured out where we went wrong earlier. The comedian was actually on in the bar rather than the theatre, so we completely missed him. I've had a couple of hour and a half playing Civ on my Steam Deck. It's 11:15. We're now going to head to the buffet. Meal 3. I'm not really planning on eating now. I just want a hot chocolate or a Horlicks or something, and to fill up my water bottle so I can take my medication before bed. So we're going to head to the buffet one more time. I'm absolutely not dressed to do wandering around a cruise ship. It's supposed to be evening casual, I think they call it. Tracksuit bottoms, sweatshirt, coat. We've had our balcony door open because it sounds really nice, but it is freezing cold. Literally, I think it is 0 degrees out there. It is cold with a capital K, but we're going down to the buffet one more time. So it's 11:30 p.m. This is how you get your money's worth. Water bottle full. Hot chocolate, ready to consume.
Hot chocolate?
Yeah.
No.
Well, it's like Ovaltine hot chocolate. And then we've got some fish, a sausage roll, and some chicken shawarma with a bread roll. I'm very happy. And with that, we are back in our cabin, just looking at the Horizon magazine, which tells you what's going on tomorrow. According to this, we get to Amsterdam at 6 p.m. tomorrow. So we've got a whole day of on-ship adventures for us to get through before we get there. I don't know how much we'll actually be in Amsterdam in the next video, but Anna's having a massage tomorrow. I'll find some shenanigans to get up to, and I think I'll probably find a way to get into Amsterdam, especially if there's no rain. Last year when we got to Amsterdam, it was absolutely pouring with rain. But if it's clear skies, we are going to get into Amsterdam. The clocks change tonight as well, so they go forward.
Not because of the summer.
No, not because of the summer, because of us going to Europe. Anna was very confused. As soon as I said it, she was like, "It's February." Yes, but we are going to the Netherlands, and they have the wrong time there, so we have to change it. But for now, I think we're going to get ourselves ready for bed buys. So we'll say goodbye to you. Do you want to see one more look outside to see where we are? I don't think you'll be able to see anything. Oh, it's just black out there. Over there is either France or England. I'm not sure which side of the boat we're on. Well, there you go then, folks. We survived the night, waking up on our first morning of our 4-night cruise. And as you can see, we are in the middle of the sea. And it's a very cold, very choppy sea. There were some moments last night when we were out in, I guess, the deepest bits. We're just approaching the coast of the Netherlands now, so it's actually calmed down a little bit, even though it still does look very choppy out there. But there were times when we were walking around the ship, like 11 o'clock last night, where we were kind of holding onto the walls because we were moving around so much, and I was lying in bed and I could see my knees like being shaken from side to side. Poor Anna has not had a very good night's sleep because obviously with her back pain, the constant movement meant she just couldn't get comfortable, and she was constantly getting woken up by it. So hopefully we'll have a better night's sleep tonight, because we're going to be docked in Amsterdam tonight. So shouldn't be as movie abouty, is my theory. It's also freezing cold. It's about 0 degrees and you feel it coming in off the sea. But we should be hitting the coast of the Netherlands within the next hour or so. We've then got a few hours going down the canals to get us to Amsterdam, and then later on this afternoon we hit Amsterdam itself. So we'll hopefully have some fun stuff to get up to once we get there. Anna's got a massage booked in about half an hour. She's just having a shower. We've already been down to breakfast. Breakfast, as always on the first morning of a cruise, was an absolute zoo. Barely managed to get anywhere to sit, and when we did, there was barely any food. But it's only to be expected when you get up late on the first morning. That time change. They put the clocks forward an hour, so I got up at 8 thinking I was clever. It was 9. By the time we were ready and down for breakfast, it was gone 10. Everyone was down there doing the same thing. There was queues to get in. It was absolute chaos. And I think I need to follow my own advice, and on the first morning either go to the restaurant dining room rather than the buffet, or get up a bit earlier, which is going to be my plan for tomorrow, because tomorrow is a full day in Amsterdam. We're there overnight tonight. We don't leave Amsterdam till about midnight tomorrow, so we have a full 24 hours in Amsterdam to do all of the Amsterdam things we're looking forward to. But for now, I need to get back inside because it's so cold out here, and find myself an activity to do while Anna goes for a 75-minute massage in a little while. I've just dropped Anna off for a massage up on the 16th deck, ran down the stairs to deck 7 to get down here before the shops close in half an hour as we hit the Netherlands, and I've found another shop which I don't even remember seeing last year. But this one sells Sony stuff and Pandora stuff. This is like a Kevin shop. Kind of want to get myself a funky globe. But they've got headphones and speakers and battery packs in addition to the not quite so expensive as the watches in the other place watches, but still more expensive than I'd ever spend on a watch. All of the shops close at 12:30 and will stay closed until like Monday morning, because once we're docked, the shops can't be open. In fact, this is what Anna wanted to do, the Eyetronic thing, where you get your eyes scanned and get a photograph of your eye, like really super duper close up. So we might come and do that a little bit later on. The instruction manual told me that was only available between 5 and 9 p.m, but definitely looks open now. There's a queue for it. Right, I am out and about with a mission and a plan. That mission being to find beard oil. I had a beard oil disaster. It exploded in my toiletries bag. I need to buy some more, otherwise I'm going to have to go 4 days with an unoiled beard, and I may as well be a caveman at that point. So I think the little shop that I got the moisturiser from yesterday had some in, so we're going to go and have a look. It did not. It was other oils. That's not ideal. No joy. So first and most important job once we get off the ship in Amsterdam, find beard oil. I don't think I've ever shown you this before in one of these videos, but you can get Costa coffee on the ship, but you have to pay for it. You can get free coffee in the buffet, and I'm tight, so I just drink the free buffet coffee, and I've never been anywhere near that. That's the closest I've ever been to that Costa. We're going to go in the gallery and have a look. There are activities going on. I'm not really an activities kind of guy. I suspect I can't film in the gallery, but there's paintings in there for like 15, 20 grand. It is like living in a whole other world coming on a cruise ship. It's bonkers. Thought I'd come and walk around the deck for a little bit of fresh air and exercise. It's just smokers. There is definitely no fresh air to be had out here. Next stop, buffet, which isn't too busy considering it's about 12:30. Not too busy in here at all, no queue or anything to get in. The ship is currently leaning over onto its side because I think we're turning as we approach the Netherlands. So I'm kind of being pushed into this wall. But yeah, we've got a decent assortment of stuff over here. So we've got some decent hot food options. That fish looks nice. I am very much a fish guy. Also got some jerk chicken, which appeals. And a lamb rogan, Josh. This is better than what they had when we got here yesterday. There's like sandwiches and stuff around that side, bread over there, desserts over the back. Got pasta. There's usually some kind of roast going on, so it's whatever that is. Pork belly, I think. Some more meats and salads and things. And like I say, got some desserts over here. There's like 4 of these buffets scattered around. And aside from breakfast, they're never mega busy. It's not the best place to eat, but it's open like 23 hours a day, so I can't really complain about that. I'm sure a few of you are thinking it's a little bit weird that we've come on the exact same cruise exactly a year after we did it the last time. Same itinerary, same dates, everything the same. But one thing is crucially different, and that is our cabin is on the opposite side of the ship to what it was last time. And one of my favourite things last year was when we went through the lock to get into the Netherlands and watching all this stuff. So we deliberately got a cabin over the opposite side so I could look at it from the other side. The only problem is the view from down here isn't as good on this side, unless we see something when we get a bit further forward. So Anna has returned from her massage, and in order for me to claim that as a business expense, she needs to give me a thorough review of it.
I got rubbed everywhere.
Magic. So that's how massages work on cruises, everybody. Oh, you're actually going to give me a little bit more than that, are you? That was a fairly standard Anna review.
My feet are swollen. So she told me what I should be using. She did my scalp. That was different. That was very nice. But my hair was very crunchy because I have hairspray upon hairspray in my hair.
You are supposed to wash hairspray out.
Yeah, but I put it on today.
Oh, I see.
I like.
Thought you meant you were just layering it on every day.
On, and then
more spray.
I put spray on. I brush, and then I put more spray on because I've already brushed that in.
Okay.
I have to get it nice, but it was crunchy. But yeah, the head one. What's that called? Magnifique.
Magnifique.
Yeah, it was great, but it's like £40 just to go in there, like just to go in the pool and stuff.
Is it?
Yes, you have to pay £40 per person.
Yeah,
per day.
I don't need to go in the pool. Although I did find you a pair of trunks in the shop downstairs, but they are now closed, so you can't come and try them on. But if you want trunks on Monday...
I don't need trunks. So
you said you didn't bring your swimming kit, so we'd get you a pair of trunks.
I want my top parts. We're not in Lanzarote anymore.
Oh, okay. In other news, out here is actually quite boring. There's nothing going on. I've come back in. That's why I'm not wrapped up like a snowman anymore. We're just kind of parked. And because we're a couple of decks higher than we were last time, when I look over the side, all I can see is the balconies below. So I can't really see what's going on out there. I assume we'll start moving again soon. I think there's definitely like a big gate over here where something is happening and we're basically waiting to be let in, I think. And then that's the canal that leads you all the way down to Amsterdam, which, if last year's anything to go by, takes about 4 hours before we're actually docked. It's getting on for 2 o'clock now. So I think believe it or not, the Horizon magazine was probably right. It probably is going to be about 6 o'clock that we arrive in Amsterdam. We've just had a little bit of a look because we don't do nightlife and we're not drinkers or anything like that. I was walking around the ship and everyone else is planning their night out in Amsterdam. Me and Anna's just said to me, what are we going to do in Amsterdam if we get there at 6? On a Saturday night in a major city, whatever will there be to do? But I've just had a little look. The Lego store's open till 8. I don't think we're going to go there today. We'll probably do the Lego store tomorrow. But if the Lego store's open till 8, that would imply everywhere else is probably open. So as long as we do get in at 6 and we get off the ship relatively quickly, we should get a couple of hours in Amsterdam today. And looking at the weather, it's actually quite nice. When we came last year, it was throwing downward rain when we first arrived, whereas it actually looks like, I mean, it's cold, but it's quite clear. So I think our plan at the moment, as long as the weather holds and we don't get any delays, and we have been sat here for half an hour now, as long as everything goes our way, we will get into Amsterdam tonight and then do it properly tomorrow.
At least I didn't fall off the massage bed because it has been choppy. You got rocks to see.
At least I didn't fall off the massage bed. That's Anna's claim to fame for the day. We've been moving down these canals for about 2 hours now. As you can see, it's all looking very Dutch. But I've just noticed on the little instruction manual we were given that they serve afternoon tea in the buffet. So I'm going to go and check out afternoon tea for meal 3 we're going for 5 today. We've never been down for afternoon tea before, but goodness me, was it a wise decision. What a spread. We've got Cornish pasty, we've got chocolate chip cookies, we've got scones with cream and jam. Anna has Anna food, because it's all Anna ever eats is Anna food. Only one side of the buffet was open, so it was mega busy in there, even busier than it was at breakfast. But managed to fight my way through to get my desired afternoon delights.
You didn't know where they were.
No, Anna had to show me where the scones were. I was just walking around holding jam and cream like a little lost boy and no one was helping me. Well, folks, I am no navigation expert. However, there are some clues that we may have arrived at our destination. Specifically, I feel like that sign is something of a giveaway. We're on the opposite side of the ship to what we were last year. I think I've already mentioned that, but it means we can actually see the cruise terminal. So this is the Amsterdam cruise terminal. You can see that they are preparing the little bridge to attach to us so that we can get off. Just down there, that building with the curved roof is the central train station. There is a tram stop just the other side of this building. In fact, you can see the lines just there. You can jump on a tram just outside the thing, get down to Central Station. That's where all the other trams are, and that will send you off into whatever direction you need to go to in Amsterdam. So it's perfectly located, smack bang in the centre of the city. And now we are just waiting to be able to get off. We were told 6 p.m. It's only 4:42. So I guess they've got an hour or so, but you can see they are just moving the little bridge in place now. Surely it's not going to take an hour, is it? I don't know if we should start getting our stuff ready for an adventure or not. At the moment, we're just lying on the bed playing computer games and doing nerd things. Sooner or later, we'll get ready to go out and play. Well, about an hour after we got the announcement that we could get off the ship, we are now heading downstairs for the second time. We came down about 20 minutes after the announcement, and they were queuing around the Atrium, so we didn't even get out of the lift. We just went straight back up. But Anna's just sent me down on a recon mission. The queue is now completely gone. So we should now, at 6:20, be able to head out into Amsterdam. Look, no queue at all. Just walk straight up there. 20-minute wait, that's all it took. Well, we've made it out into the wild. It is cold. I don't think we're going to be out here very long, but we do want to go and get some provisions. Anna has a favourite sweet shop that she likes to go to. I want to go and rummage through the Dutch crisps. I now collect foreign crisp packets on our fridge. We've got some from Tenerife. We've got some from France. I want some Dutch crisps. Yeah, Lanzarote. Just a really nice bag of local plain crisps is what I'm looking for. And of course, stroopwafel. If I stumble across a Febo, I won't be offended by a Febo. It's 6:30, so we've got like 2.5 hours until dinner closes on the cruise ship. But even if we miss that, we can just go to a late buffet or eat out. So we'll see how long Anna's knees and back hold out, which probably won't be that long. Well, this isn't our first time in Amsterdam, but it is the first time we've arrived in the dark. And I don't know if we got off the tram or stopped too soon or turned the wrong way when we got off it, but we have just been round the back end of the train station. We've been walking for 15 minutes and we've only just got back to the bit that I actually recognise. So ballsed up massively. Anna's already hurting, so I don't think we're going to be out for long. But I'm glad we've come out because we've got pretty lights, which we obviously wouldn't see in the daytime. Pretty lights all the way up there. I don't know what they're in aid of. It's February. Lots of crowns and prettiness. But there's crowns all over everywhere. Am I missing something? Is it the king / queen's birthday / anniversary / jubilee? Something? Or do they just like crowns? It's very pretty. We've made it to Anna's favourite sweet shop. This place is bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. There's a lot of sweets in here. Just about everything you can imagine. All the way up. It's mad. We've just done a massive supermarket Dutch treats haul. I'll show you it when we get back to the ship. My backpack is full. We also have fizzy beverages. And now we're walking up here to get ourselves some delicious chips from the really touristy chip place that's probably like the worst chips in the Netherlands, but they're better than any chips. We don't know, we've never had any others in the Netherlands. They're better than any chips we have in the UK, but the fact that they're on this main high street means they're probably the worst ones here, and Anna's found me better stroopwafels than the ones I've just bought, so my heart is just broken.
It's a whole shop.
A whole stroopwafel shop. That's amazing. Believe it or not, as well. I mean, I don't want to speculate on this, but I think there might be 1 or 2 people around us smoking weed because I can smell it.
Oh yeah, but as soon as we got off.
24 kinds of sauce is my kind of place to get chips from. I know it's touristy and I know it's €9 for a cone of chips, but goodness me, we've had them before, we know they're delicious. I know it's mad when we have food included in our cruise, but I've got the largest chips that they do. This is our dinner tonight, I think. It's already getting on for 7:30 by the time we get back on the ship. Dinner's going to be done. We'll nip back down about midnight for a Horlicks and a snack of some kind, but for now I'm going to enjoy my enormous chips with delicious Flemish mayo. This is the life. The chips were delicious. We've just walked down to the Tony's Chocolonely shop to see if we could do a custom chocolate bar, but they closed at 7 o'clock, so we're going to come back tomorrow morning and do that. I think we're done. I'm kind of tempted to go to the stroopwafel shop, but I might save that for tomorrow as well if we're going to be back in this part of town. It is now nearly 8. We've been out a couple of hours. I don't want to break Anna so she can't then come out tomorrow. So we need to get her back. She had her massage today, but we need to get her stretching and medicated and fine to come out again tomorrow, because tomorrow, as well as all the other bits we haven't done now, we've got the Lego store, which there'll be a video over on the Block Party channel for that. And I need Anna to come to the Lego store with me, because if she's with me, I don't feel so bad about spending too much money. Oh, I forgot. Amsterdam was where I first had the Lipton green tea, iced tea. I didn't see any of that in the supermarket. That's a job for tomorrow, get some of that. That is my favourite drink. I love that. But yeah, we are now going to try and get on the right tram to get us back to the cruise terminal, because the route we took to get here was bonkers. And I said I need to get this backdrop behind rather than the building site I was showing you, because it is, I mean, she's right, it is much prettier. In fact, this feels like a thumbnail. Hold on, come with me, get in the shot. Smiling. There you go. Live thumbnail shooting as well, because that was a good shot. She's got an eye for photography. How messy is my hair? Having worn a hat that might not be used. Well, we are back. It is just before 9 o'clock, so we had a good few hours out. Time for an Amsterdam haul, everybody. So we got a couple of bottles of my favourite lemon green iced tea that I first discovered in Amsterdam years ago. I now drink it all over Europe. We still don't have this in the UK, apart from at the Londis at the NEC in Birmingham. I found this as well, but otherwise you can never find it in the UK. I always stock up whenever I am in Europe, including coming back where I originally got it from. We of course had our chips, but we've eaten them. I got some knoppers, long-time viewers. I couldn't finish my chips, no. Long-time viewers will know I love a knoppers. And these aren't actually the knoppers we get in the UK. We get the wafer ones, which are the same ones that you get in France. But the very first knoppers I had years ago, again, was here in Amsterdam when I had a knoppers nut bar. And I found a 5-pack of them. So I will be having a mouthful of nuts at some point while I'm here. As part of my ongoing search to find the best crisps in the world, I got the ones that looked the weirdest and the localist. So if these are major brands across Europe, I apologise, but I've not seen them before. So I got some crocky tubes, paprika flavour. We can't try them now because I'm absolutely full of chips, but maybe tomorrow. And then I also got some, I've just realised these are French. So these don't even count. I can't buy French crisps in the Netherlands, but these are chips and mayonnaise flavour, but they're French, so these are immediately disqualified. They can re-enter in France if we ever find them in France. We also got some stroopwafels, because you got to stroop when you're in Amsterdam. I don't know if these are different flavours or they just tricked me with different labels, but I've got 2 different varieties of stroopwafel, maybe? I don't really know. But we've got 2 of those, and then, we got some pop. Different flavours of pop to put in our little fridge. We're actually going to use the fridge. Anna got a weird pineapple Fanta as well. And then she also got this massive tub of pick and mix. Now, I'm not saying everywhere we've just been was a tourist trap, but that little haul I've just showed you was €49. Plus we spent another 20 on our chips. So we've managed to go out and spend the best part of €70. We should have just stayed in and eaten the food we've already paid for on the ship. We'll never learn, but we do have some nice snacks now, and we are all about them nice snacks. I think we're probably going to wrap this video up here. All we're going to do for the rest of the day is lie around on the bed, maybe play some games. I've got my Steam Deck with me. Anna's got her Switch with her. What are you playing? Breath of the Wild? Finally. No. Oh, she's playing some kind of Zelda game. I've been playing Civ 7 on my Steam Deck, but I just want to play Cyberpunk. She wants to play Cyberpunk, but she didn't bring her PlayStation. I've also been reading this, which I'm very much enjoying as well. So we'll lie around for a bit and then head down for Horlicks at about 11ish, and then sleep long enough for Anna to recover so we can get back into Amsterdam tomorrow and do it all again in the daylight. whilst spending less money, which is going to be difficult because we will be going to the Lego store, and Anna's promised I can buy a big castle.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Welcome to Amsterdam on a Sunday morning, a misty Sunday morning. The city is just waking up behind me. We've just been waking up in there, and we've been down for breakfast already on our cruise ship, and we're about to head and have a day in the city. The ship departs from Amsterdam at 11 o'clock tonight, so we've got the whole day to do whatever we want in one of the best cities in Europe. I suspect we're going to go and have a customised chocolate bar made and then go to the Lego store, because that's the kind of thing that we do in any city. We don't have a lot of culture, but we do like mooching around in Amsterdam, so we're going to head over there in a little bit and do some mooching. Why don't you come along with us? And for anybody wondering just how big the cruise ship is, it's quite big. I mean, it's bonkers. Our cabin is pretty much above this row of lifeboats here. It's kind of 3 above that, up on deck 12. But yeah, it's a big ship. Annoyingly, we have to walk all the way along this massive gangway to get off it, which we didn't last year. We just went straight through into the main terminal last year. But this time we've got like a 5-minute walk down there and then back again to get to the tram stop, which when you're with somebody with mobility issues means she's absolutely ruined before we even get to the tram stop, which is not ideal. For the record, I really want one of these double-decker trains out of Lego for my Lego city. But I tell you what, this is the spot. If you like transport, the trains are constantly going past over there. You've got the tram lines here, which run every 5 minutes or so. The trains are every 20 seconds or so. And then you've got buses on the road, and then behind you is the cruise terminal. There's our ship there. So, I mean, all I need to do is do some low-flying planes over here, and you've got every piece of transport covered. Do we know anybody who'd enjoy this spot? Andrew. Don't remember that name. Of course, the problem with bringing him on a trip like this is as far as he'd need to go. He wouldn't actually want to go into Amsterdam. So we'd get off the ship, and him and Anna would just sit there all day watching trains and trams, and I'd be Billy No Mates wandering around Amsterdam looking for something to do on my own. So that's one of the reasons why Andy doesn't come on trips like this with us. The others being he would definitely hate it. The lack of reliable internet on the ship would ruin him. And I don't know that they have 3-person cabins anyway. Yeah, there'd be no food for him. Basically, it is not an option for him to come with us on a cruise. He would hate every part of it, apart from this specific part, and he wouldn't want to leave here. Quick question for Amsterdam experts. I'm sure last year when we came, we got on the tram at the cruise terminal. It took us right out the front of Central Station, where all the other trams are, and we could just get onto a different one. We noticed it last night, and it's happened again now. We've been brought round this back entrance, and it's now like a 10-minute walk through all this underneath to get around to the front of the station where I'm sure we've stopped previously. Have they rebuilt that in a year? Or, because it doesn't look shiny and new. Am I getting on the wrong tram now? Am I misremembering it? I certainly don't remember having to walk for 10 minutes to get onto the next tram when we went into Amsterdam last year when we were here. Please explain it to me. Let me know I'm not losing my mind. And after much kerfuffle, we have made it out of the station and into Amsterdam. What a pretty city it is. I was just saying to Anna, it really does show the quality of the Dutch people compared to the English because of the amount of Canal Tour signs that on a Sunday morning are still reading as Canal Tour. If those signs were in England, certainly on a Saturday night, people would make it a mission to cover up every single one of those C's, and you'd walk out of the train station to a dozen anal tours. But the Dutch are just classier than we are. So because we came into the city for a couple of hours last night, we've already done a bunch of our traditional Amsterdam stuff, so we don't need to go and find stroopwafels. We don't need to go and eat delicious local chips. We still might, but we don't need to. What we're planning on doing first up is heading to the Tony's Chocolonely shop, where you can do customised Tony's chocolate bars in your own custom flavours. Anna's telling me we're going to McDonald's first, so it's not, I don't know why, we just had breakfast, but yeah, we're going to go over there and order some custom chocolate bars. We did it last year. It took like 3 hours, so my theory is by the time we've ordered them, we can go and do our other bits and then collect them on the way back. So I don't understand what's going on. She wanted a drink, but there's a big queue, I think is what's happened there. Possible change of plan. There is a massive queue outside the Tony's shop, probably because it's Sunday. Last year when we came, it was like a Thursday, Friday, and we just wandered straight in, but it is busy. We are not interested in that kind of queue, so I think we'll just buy a boring bar of Tony's from a boring shop, and now we're gonna figure out where the tram stop is so we can get up to the Lego store. Here we go, touristy shops. We've made it to Dam Square, not because we wanted to come to Dam Square particularly, but because the Lego store is the other side of it. Anna wants me to go and stand in the pigeons. I do not want a pigeon on my head, though. I don't think I'd enjoy that, but they've got Ripley's Believe It or Not there. Body World just back down that way. Madame Tussauds is here. So if you are just here for the day like we are, this is a good spot to come for all of your tourism needs. Plus, loads of cheese shops. Lots of cheese in Amsterdam, it seems. No, we can't take cheese back into the UK, I don't think. I'll have to check the rules. We're properly in like the shopping district, and it is mad how we could be walking around England. All the shops are the same. We've just walked past a Holland and Barrett.
No.
H&B, that Anna insists on calling it, because it makes me think she's saying HMV. I know, but it's all the same shops. There was a Primark and a TK Maxx next to each other. Now I know these shops aren't English shops, so it's reasonable that they would be in Europe, but it is mad how everything's the same everywhere. What's water drop?
It's like you put something in your water, it makes it taste it.
Okay.
It's all on TikTok.
There you go. Up here is the Lego store, which we are going to do a full video on, but that will be on the Lego channel. So I'll link to that down below. It will already have been released before this video. So if you want to see what we get up to in there, go watch that video. Trip to the Lego store complete. As you can see, Lego windmill behind me. That was a great store. Lots of fun to be had in there. If you want to see all of the bits and bobs we did, like I say, there's a video over on Block Party, but now I need to go and hook back up with Anna again, who's waiting over here. She did come in the store, but she doesn't spend as long in there as I do because she's not mad. So I've left her over here. We're going to go and find something to eat, I think. We're back at the same restaurant on Dam Square where we sat last year on this exact day and ate bitterballen, and we're going to sit here and eat bitterballen, and I'm very happy about it because it is my favourite snack and you can't get them in England, and I'm very sad about it. Anna doesn't like them, so she's just going to have chips. I like having a little jar of mustard to spread on anything, really.
Mayonnaise and stuff.
Interesting. Last year we sat here and showed you the £250 worth of rubber ducks that we'd just bought down the road. This year we didn't buy rubber ducks. That is maturity and progress, I think. I have got a big bag of Lego with me, but yeah, Anna's suffering. I think we're going to head back to the ship after this. And I was going to say put Anna down. That's not what I mean. As in put her on the bed. We are going to try the chocolate shop again on the way back just to see if there's a smaller queue. And if
actually made me very sad.
and if necessary, we could go in and place an order and I can come back out and grab her while she's resting. I didn't mean it in that way. It was more, I know what I mean, put you on the bed, but it almost came out of my mouth as that. Oh, I'm going to get shouted at as soon as I turn this camera on, so I might just leave it on. What should we chat about? And I have a nice, delicious Zero beer, which I really enjoyed last year. It's a nice change from the Heineken Zero we have to drink on the cruise ship, because it's the only zero alcohol beer they have.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, but this one's nice. Obviously, none of it is on a level with Guinness Zero, but strangely, in the Netherlands, they don't have a lot of Guinness Zero knocking around. I've got my bitterballen. What a time to be alive. Look at them. Look at them. I like them very much. Job done. Now we can head back to the ship. Although we are going to go via the Tony's shop to see if there's still a queue. Anna is very cold now. She was too hot when we were in the Lego store. Now she's freezing cold. We can't get Anna to the right temperature. And she's being a Swiftie today as well, wearing my hat.
No, just cold.
Now Anna is a confirmed Swiftie. I have suggested we head over the road to Primark and get her the matching jacket, which I think they have on sale at the moment, but she wants to just be a subtle Swiftie, I think. I don't know. I'm finding it amusing that you're so offended at the idea of you liking someone. Do you really not like her?
It's not like she's saying that I'm wearing it for that and I'm not.
She's wearing it because despite the fact it's the middle of winter and we knew it was going to be 0 degrees, she didn't bring a coat, hat, scarf, anything. So she's wearing my hat.
When I'm walking, I am hot. When I sit, I am cold.
So several hours later, there's still a massive queue outside the Tony's chocolate shop. So I guess we're not going there. Build a bigger one, Amsterdam. It's your best tourist attraction. We're now just going to head in the supermarket and buy some generic flavours rather than making our own, because we've got to get some. It's the best chocolate, but it's not so good that we're going to queue up for an hour to get into the store, design our custom one, and then have to wait 3 hours for them to make it. 4 hours time, I want to be back on that cruise ship, warm, because it is cold out here, and I don't have a proper coat with me either. Well, it's not quite the same as going in the proper store across the road, but this supermarket has lots of flavours. Just obviously we can't do the custom made ones in here, but I might get a little selection box of different ones from the top. That might be the way forward. We're just on our way back to the ship and Anna's just spotted this, which on inspection online is apparently the highest swing in Europe. I don't know how well the camera's picking it up, but right at the top there of that building there is a swing. I've just looked it up online. It's open till 8 o'clock tonight. It's €18.50 a person to go on the big swing at the top there. I think to get to it, we'd have to get one of these ferries across the canal and then walk down, I guess. So it would be a journey. And I think we'd both chicken out once we got to the top, but we're kind of semi-keen, but also quite tired and cowards. And our ship is right there, and it's really tempting at nearly 4 o'clock just to go back to the ship and have a little bit of a rest. I think that's probably what we're going to do, but it's certainly something to think about for the future. I imagine I'm probably still over the weight limit for it at the moment, but no. I'm going to look it up further when we get back. Several hours later, we are back on the ship, obviously, as you can see. It's black tie night. We decided we didn't like black tie night last year, so we're doing black shirt night. I've got a black shirt on. Anna has a black dress on. With fairies on, and we're just avoiding the areas where you have to be in black tie, which actually is a remarkably small area of the ship. But I know you want a fit check, so there I am, looking snazzy and beautiful. Would you like an Anna fit check? Should we go and see what Anna's dressed as? There she is, look. There's the back end of Anna. Oh, there's the front side of Anna as well, wearing a dress. Who are you wearing?
Disturbia.
Disturbia? Never heard of it. But yeah, we're going to go down and have some din-dins. I'm also trying to upload a YouTube video, which is... The hotel Wi-Fi is trash, but I have tethered my phone to it, which Anna suggested. And that seems to be... While we're still in Amsterdam and I can use my roaming, that seems to be working a little bit better. So as long as it's uploaded before we head back out into maritime land, then we should be good. But let's go and have some din-dins. Because it's black tie night, we're on the fancy menu, and we just turned down the amuse-bouche because carrot and peach soup, definitely not my thing. The rest of it looks pretty good, but it's about a gazillion courses, which I suspect means very small plates, and I've already turned down my amuse-bouche. So this is our starter. We have a crispy pork thing and green. Next up we have our soup course, which is French onion soup. It's only the second time we've ever had this. We had it in France last year.
Last year?
Was it 2 years ago? Might have been 2 years ago. And Anna loved it. And she was just saying the other day she wished she could have more. Here it is on the menu. Would you like to sum up your thoughts? She made that noise as the waiter brought it over. So, main courses. Anna has a rather snazzy looking chicken Kiev. I have got a beef Wellington. That's a potato thing. There's my potato thing. And then for dessert, Anna has got something, we don't even remember what she ordered. It's like a pie, a wibbly wobbly cake. I'm a child, so just got a bowl of ice cream because I didn't like the look of anything that was on there. And of course, despite it being 8:30 at night, I have a coffee on the way because I haven't had one since breakfast and I'm worried my brain might turn off. For the first time since we got on the ship, we've got the cool glass lift in the Atrium and no one else in here, so I can show you around as we go up, although we're not going very fast, we've stopped on the next floor up, but there's some kind of dancing going on down there.
We had an alarm, didn't we? An alert.
Yeah. They're dancing down there and photos and things being taken up here, and now we disappear. But yeah, we're trying not to be alarmed, but during dinner there was an alert came out over the tannoy. I don't even know if it was meant for the public or they did it by mistake, because it was calling for a first aid response to the engine room for a presumed fire.
The engine just started, didn't it? It was weird.
But then nothing else happened. Nobody seemed to be concerned. It was like me and Anna were the only ones who heard it. But now we've got 2 lifts out of order. And yeah, so like I say, trying not to be concerned. I'm sure it'll be okay. But we're going to put some outdoor clothes on just in case. The only...
A very good evening, Ships Company. This is the staff captain on the bridge. Ships Company, attention, first aid response. First aid response can stand down. I repeat, Ships Company and first aid response, you may now stand down. I'm happy to report the report we had was a false alarm, but thank you very much for everyone reacting as you did. You may stand down. Thank you.
That's all right then. We're still going to go back to our room because the shows... Do you want to let us in while I talk to the boys and girls? There is evening entertainment every night. There's usually singers in the bars. There's a theatre that's had various shows in. There was a comedian here one night, but there's not really been anything that appeals to us. Yeah, the comedian's on tonight, but not until 1:45. No, you're all right. 1:45? Goodness me. If I'm up at that time, I'm watching the Sailaway at midnight. But the only shows that are on, there's 90s tribute act and someone dressing up as Jessie J. Last time we came, there was quite a good show the first night, wasn't there? But it's just tribute acts and stuff this time, and it's not great. So I think we'll just hang out in the room. We like to hang out in the room. I cannot get this back in this. That's what I'm fiddling with. I've also got a thumbnail to make for the Lego video I made earlier. So.
Did not like dessert.
Didn't you? I mean, that was basically a 5-course meal. I don't know if I've ever eaten that many courses.
No, dessert.
No, the dessert was weird. It was good though. And that was the one restaurant where you didn't have to be in black tie, even though everyone else in there was. But that one didn't have rules, weren't enforcing the rules, so I was fine, dressed like a bit of an airbat. But yeah, I think we'll hang out in here for a bit. And then if we're still feeling energetic, close to midnight, we'll head out for some supper, get some Horlicks, and maybe watch the Sailaway. That might be fun. Well, we've just been down to get our Horlicks. It's 11:15, which means 1/4 the time that everyone had to be aboard the ship. The little walkway is still there, though, and the doors are still open, which makes me wonder if we're waiting for stragglers. I would love to capture someone running down that little plank area, carrying their suitcase going, hold the ship, because I've seen the videos online and they're always hilarious, because I know this is only our second cruise, but the times are so clear. It's in big letters as you get off. It's so clear what time you have to be on, and we've never been on with less than like 8 hours to spare. So I don't really know how it happens, but I really want to see it. But I think we might have missed it, because I think they're bringing the thing in. If last year's trip is anything to go by, the ship won't actually leave for at least another hour or so yet. It was just after midnight, I think, that it left last year. So I am a tired bear and I am drinking my Horlicks, so I can't guarantee I'm going to be up until that point. But goodness me, I will try my hardest to stay up until that hour. But worth pointing out, we looked at the sights of Amsterdam from up here first thing this morning. It is so pretty. The cruise terminal is a little bit of an eyesore with the light. Because the other side of it is where you've got all of the little buildings next to where the station is and all of the canal stuff. Yeah, so you do get some nice views from up here. Unfortunately, they're a little bit spoilt by the light pollution coming off of that thing, which isn't as bad in real life as it is on this camera. But It's still a very pretty city. I like it here. This certainly isn't going to be our last time here. Yeah, Anna's desperate to see someone running. Absolutely desperate, yeah. Well, we've waited out here for about 10 minutes. There doesn't seem to be anybody late. They still haven't brought the thing in, so it's freezing out here. We're going to go in. I assume I didn't film any more today or any of the Sailaway stuff. If I did, I'll insert those clips here. On the assumption that I didn't, though. And even if I did, you're now back with us. I'll say goodbye. So if you have enjoyed this video, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for us. Subscribe to the channel for loads more travel content. We've got one more cruise day yet. We've got a full day at sea tomorrow. So we'll find a way to keep ourselves amused on this ship. Because we've still got 2 more nights. We're not off the ship tomorrow. So we've got to get home yet. It is our final day on board the P&O Ventura, and I figured that was the perfect opportunity for a very windy at-sea ship tour. Let's have a look around this whole place. So as you can see from me doing this 360 at the highest point I can get to on the ship, this is a sea day. We left Amsterdam just after midnight last night. We get into Southampton in time to disembark tomorrow morning, and we are in the middle of the English Channel right now. I think I can just see a slight suggestion of some land over there, but I could be imagining it. But I've come up to the highest point I can get to on the ship to start this video off, because it's the only place I can show you in here, which is the spa area, where you can see they've got a little private adults only pool that hasn't got loads of kids messing around in it. Also a little private eaty area, which I don't think the likes of me can have access to. I certainly don't know how you get in there. And then you come over to this side and you can see we've got the general outdoor pool. In that little glassed off bit the other side of it, there's an indoor pool as well, but that's the outdoor pool complete with hot tubs. It is 4 degrees and very windy out here in the middle of the ocean. Anyone in their swimming costumes doing outdoor swimming in this weather has my undying respect. That is incredibly impressive. It's worth mentioning I'm on this cruise in early February in the English Channel, so I imagine at other times of the year things like this bar and these sun lounges and those deck chairs are actually in use. It's 4 degrees though, and as you can imagine, in that kind of weather, very little of this outdoor area is actually being used, which does make the indoor areas that bit more crowded when people are looking for somewhere to sit down. Reassuringly, there are hand sanitation points everywhere on the ship. Nowhere to fill up water bottles though, other than in the main buffet. You come round into here, and that's where all like in fact that's the toilets. The other side of this wall is where you've got the elevators and stairs and things that go up through the centre of the ship. And then this is the indoor pool, which you can see is a lot more crowded in here because it's a lot warmer. We actually have a roof on this bit. I mean, it's still not what I would class as warm in here. It looks like that roof is retractable for the summer. It's not like warm, but it's warmer than it is on that outdoor one. So as you can imagine, much harder to find somewhere to sit in this bit. So if we come through into the buffet, worth pointing out that as we come in here, it is 12:30. So the lunch rush is underway. It's always very, very hard to find anywhere to sit in here though, which is not ideal. So the buffet itself usually has a pretty decent selection no matter what time of day it is. Like I say, it's lunchtime at the moment, but we've got stews, we've got chicken burgers, we've got corn on the cob. We do have allergy information. People asked when I made a TikTok about this. There's allergy information for everything on display. There's salads and sandwiches and things available as well. There's almost always some kind of carvery going on. It looks like there's some beef over there at the moment, and a few other bits and bobs here. Then we've got some cold meats, some kind of custard covered dessert over there, and then a repeat of the stuff from the other side over this side, including a fisherman's pie over here. More salads, and then over here we've got the array of desserts, including your plant-based butters, which is obviously a dessert, and then fruit and whatnot over there, and then various mass-produced puddings. across both sides, and some actual real legitimate fruit over there. There's multiple buffet options. There's one on this side of the ship, there's one on the other side of the ship, there's one at the back of the ship as well. They all serve exactly the same food. They're all equally crowded. We find that it's usually easier to find a table in this one at the back of the ship, certainly for breakfast, because a lot of people don't make it this far, because I don't think they realise this one is here. As you can see in there, it is largely the same food, but hello. It's largely the same food, but as you see, much easier to get a table in this bit. So I would recommend coming to the back here. And then I guess when the weather's a little bit better, you have the option of eating out here, where we have another little pool which isn't being used. I think it's actually roped off, but a little pool off the back of the ship, and seating and stuff out there as well. In fact, the door on the other side was open, so you do have the option of going down into this pool. Nobody's taken that option up, but the option is there. And again, for the summer, there is another bar there that's not open because nobody's out here, but pretty decent view from sitting in that pool. I mean, bearing in mind how crowded the other pools are, I don't know why nobody's using that one. Feels like a pretty decent spot, but again, in the summer you could, I imagine these are the most impossible tables to get, and you can also get up onto the top bit of the ship again, up that way. In fact, should we go and have a look? I've not been up here. So it looks like there's a kids' soft play area up here, which I didn't know existed. And another pool. I'm finding all the pools now, including a little kiddie pool. I think this is the kids' club up here, which doesn't appear to be open. And goodness me, it's windy. But I guess at various times, the kids' club is a thing in their little children's prison. One thing that we criticised the last time that we were on this ship that hasn't been changed is water refill points. The only place you can refill a water bottle is in the buffet at these machines that have a big sign on them saying, don't use these to refill your water bottle. So you have to fill up a glass of water like 5 times and then transfer that into your bottle, and there's always a big queue to do it, which is not ideal. But now we're coming around to the third buffet, which again looks exactly the same as the other two. Same food, but because we're now further forward in the ship, it's all crowded again. So definitely, if you want to avoid the crowds, head to the back. That's what we do at breakfast time, which to be honest is about the only time we eat in here. Come in here for breakfast, and that's about it. It's fine for breakfast. So now we've done a little loop of the top of the ship. We're going to head down below the cabins where the atrium and all the other bits and bobs are, which haven't been open for the last couple of days, because when the ship is in dock, in port, whatever you call it, I don't know the terminology. When they've parked the ship, the shops and stuff aren't open, but they're open today. So we're going to go and have a little look. So we've made it down onto deck 7, which, as you can see, later on today has a watch and scotch event. And then if you come around here, this is, like I say, where all the shops and things are that we've already been in a little bit throughout the trip. But you've got a jewellery shop there, a very expensive watch shop here. And I mean expensive. I mean, we're talking, they're some of the cheaper ones at 6 grand. I've seen them above 10 grand in there. It's an expensive watch shop. We have Pandora, which is always very well received. And then another little bar, I think that's a little piano bar over there. And then you can kind of see over the side here what we've got going on here in the rest of the atrium. So you've got the nice little lifts, bars on various levels, lots of hustle and bustle because these shops haven't been open for 2 days. And then back this way, there's more bars, restaurants and things through here, which I think you can go either side. I think that's the glass house, that's a bar. And then this is a little seating area that you can walk around to get to the next bit. So just outside the glass house, we have another shop. This one sells jewellery, booze, and headphones and things. And little globes. And then we come around into this little seating area, which you can access out onto the deck as well if you want to go and walk around on the deck. And then through there we have the next bar slash restaurant area. In fact, it's not a bar slash restaurant area. It's the arena, which we can't go into at the moment because they're doing rehearsals in there, but that's like a big theatre area. There hasn't really been any shows we've been interested in on this trip, so we've not really been in there. Toilets scattered around, and then, like I say, you can get out onto the deck if you want to, but it's very windy, and generally just smokers out there because it's so windy and horrible. It's the only reason you'd go out. So we're passing back through the atrium again on deck 7 because there is more stuff this way as well. It's not just that main atrium area. So when we come down here, we have another way out into the smokers area and then another bar. So this is the Tamarind Club, where there's some kind of presentation of some kind going on in here at the moment. So we get through the other side from the Tamarind Club. We've got more of these little open seating areas where you can just come and sit and watch the waves, which I guess if you're in an inside cabin is something you want to do. We've got a balcony, so we don't spend a lot of time in these communal areas, so we can just look out the window in our cabin. But I think they're probably important for people who don't have access to that. That's one of the speciality restaurants, East, which we've never eaten in. Looks like it's Asian stuff. Looks quite nice, but you have to pay extra to go in there. We're far too tight for that. And then we have the photo area where, in addition to having your normal cruise photos done, they also have iris photography. There you go, this, which we might do. If we can find our way here tonight, we might have one of those done. But lots of photo opportunity stuff. And then once you get through that, you get to another of the bars, Havana, which is, they have some shows in here in the evenings. It seems like there's a show going on in here now as well. In fact, they're showing a movie in there this afternoon, so you can come in here and watch a movie and have a drink. Right, I think that's everything for deck 7. So we're now going to head down a floor and explore deck 6. So back into the atrium, heading down to deck 6. Very noisy and very busy in here. So this is where we've got a lot more shops. This one, basically a clothes shop of various brands that you may or may not care about. Next to that clothes shop, there's the duty-free booze place, which is always busy. People buying to both drink in their cabin, and I guess because it's the final day, buying to take home with them. And then you come around to this side, and you've got more clothes and designer label things. So Radley handbags, and is that just handbags in here? I mean, discounted handbags maybe. Lots of handbags and sunglasses in this one. And then my favourite shop, because this is the shop that has Lego in it, albeit not a lot.
Where we go next?
In here.
What country are we going to next? No.
This is where you can buy your snacks and your P&O Ventura merch and stuff like that. Pringles, Mars bars, books. They've sold one of those Lego sets. Oh, in fact, they've added a couple more. They only had the architecture set the other day. They've now added a Lego Friends and a Lego City set. In fact, another little Lego City set. There's some Lego in here now. And also cuddly animals and whatnot. And quite a selection of books to buy in here. There is also a library you can borrow books from just around the corner. So that shop that had the Lego in is at the end. Then this is the handbags and sunglasses and things again. And then through there, we've got the casino, which I'm not allowed to film in. So we're going to get to the other side of that, because the other side of that, there is another bar. So we've gone around the casino. And then this is the bar that's on the other side of the casino. Which is, they do quizzes and stuff like that in here in the evenings. But as you can see, pretty busy in here. And then on the other side of it, we have the casino over there. That bar we were just in is just down there. And then in here, we've got the little arcade games room, which never seems that busy because I think it's a little bit out of the way and people don't really know it's here. But there is some decent stuff in here. I mean, when I was a kid, me and my brother would spend hours in somewhere like this quite happily. The machines are all a little dated, but I mean, it'd be a fun way to spend an hour or so. Oh no, I've just seen they've got a grabber machine. This might be where all my onboard spend goes. Trying to get myself a Spider-Gwen out of there, that's a disaster. And you can also access the theatre from this floor as well down there, but again, still closed to rehearsals. So we can't show you what's going on in there. And then we have to head back through the casino, so I'll put you away again. Back into the Atrium on deck 6. Heading that way is one of the restaurants. I think that's Cinnamon. Saffron is on this floor, Cinnamon's on the floor below, but they take up that bit of space on both of these floors. They're the restaurants where we go to in the evenings, where you can eat a proper sit-down meal and not have to battle with the buffet. The bar and the casino and stuff is through that door. When the ship is in dock, this is where you get off for excursions. It goes around there, next to where reception is. And now we're going to head down onto deck 5 of the Atrium, where there is often dancing and a silent disco and stuff like that going on down here. Always lots going on this floor. We've got another bar over there. There's the Costa coffee shop is over there as well. And then another shop. This is your smelly things shop. So perfumes and potions, and this is where me and Anna spent some money when we got here on the first night. And then this is where you can buy your future cruises, supposedly at a discount. And then there's the library where you can borrow books, sit in there and have a little bit of a read, be nice and quiet, right next to all the noise from all the dancing that's going on out here. And on this floor, you've got the Costa Coffee, lots of seating areas as well. And then an art gallery where I'm not allowed to film. Lots of very expensive paintings in there, like upwards of 5-10 grand for some of them. It's mad. But we'll have a little walk through to see what's the other side of it. It does go on quite a long way. Some of them aren't quite as expensive as some of the others, and some of them are actually quite cool. I just don't think I could ever bring myself to spend this much on art though, but I could just buy a Lego set and hang that on the wall, no matter how cool some of them are. It's like, as you get to the other side of the art gallery, it's just cabins again down there. Yeah, nothing going on that way. And then you just got the other restaurants and things up there as well. So I think we've seen everything. Yeah, I think that is your lot for ship tour. We've obviously still got the rest of the day to continue exploring. I really want a cup of coffee now. I'm right next to Costa. I just can't bring myself to pay for one when I know I can head up to the buffet and grab one for free up there. So I'm heading all the way back up to deck 15, and I'll see you in a bit. Go and find whatever Anna's doing. Well, many hours later, it's actually 6 o'clock now. As you can see, there is a female getting ready for dinner behind me. I've got all my stuff packed, ready for collection, because when you disembark a cruise ship, you basically leave the bulk of your luggage outside of your room the night before you disembark. We've got our disembarkation details. We have to be out of the cabin at 8 a.m. and then we're leaving the ship between 8:15 and 8:45. So we are going to be hanging out in the Cinnamon restaurant while we wait for our disembarking slot. But the majority of my stuff is packed up, ready for us to leave outside of the room when we get back from dinner. This afternoon, all we really did, Anna went and did the same lap of the ship that I did with you earlier on, so I didn't film it a second time, but she wanted to have a little tour of it. She was having a nap when I went round and did it earlier, so I went and did that again. She almost bought some cream, but then decided it was cheaper at Boots or somewhere else, so we didn't buy any cream. We went and tried to get the iris photos done, and were told that that's only available the first 2 days of the cruise, which wasn't on any of the advertising for it. So yet again, we don't get to have our eyeballs photographed, which we've been trying to do for years since we first saw it at Disneyland. And then I made the Yellow Submarine, which I've now already packed. So if you want to see the Beatles Yellow Submarine Lego set, there's a video over on the Block Party channel of me building it on the cruise ship, but I've now put it away in there, ready to be taken home. So the only stuff that I've still got out now in my little half of the room is the stuff that can fit in my backpack that I'll be carrying off the ship myself, which is basically all of my toys, my laptop, my Steam Deck, my Kindle, my phones, my cameras. It's just toys. I've got a pair of pants, a pair of socks, and a spare t-shirt to put on in the morning. The ones I'm wearing now will go in the bag, but I'll wear these jeans, that jacket, the boots that I've got with me. Everything else is packed. I am minimal. The only thing that is annoying is that I'm going to have to carry my CPAP machine off, which means I've got to keep my extension lead out as well, which I guess I'll have to try and ram into my CPAP machine bag, so I'm not going to be quite backpacked up. I'm hoping that at some point I'll be able to stop using the CPAP machine. I'm not there yet, but I have, having lost weight, started lowering my blood pressure medication. The doctor is... No, as per the doctor letting me do that. I will remind Anna, the CPAP machine is not a snoring remedy. And if they tell me that I don't need it to stay alive anymore, I will stop using it. Because for travel, it is a pain in the butt because it's a whole extra bag that I have to keep with me at all times. When I'm doing carry-on only on a plane, I have to take that thing. Like tomorrow, I've got to carry that thing off of the thing. It means I can't just be a one-bag traveller, and I want to be a one-bag vagabonding traveller. So need to get to the point where I don't need it. She's huffing and puffing in the back. She hasn't even brought hers. She moans at me, she hasn't even brought hers with her, even though she's supposed to use one as well.
What's going on here is a pain.
So literally what I'm describing, but I'm not allowed to snore. She's allowed to snore, but I'm not allowed to snore.
I can't hear myself snore.
Yeah, I see. So yeah, just waiting for Anna to get ready. We're going to go and have an early-ish dinner. And then once we get back, get Anna's stuff packed as well, because obviously hers is all spread out over the bed because she's doing makeup at the moment. And hair, yeah, she's doing all sorts of things. Then we'll get our luggage out there and probably just have a lazy evening in the cabin, getting ready for an early start and a drive home tomorrow. The one advantage about tomorrow, I know we've got to be out of the cabin by 8, but because of the clock change, it will actually be what we've seen as what we now experience as 9. So we can benefit from reverse jet lag because the clocks will change back again overnight tonight. The ship's time changed on the first night to Central European time, and it's changing back at 2 a.m. this morning, going in like tonight. So we'll switch back to UK time. So although we'll go to sleep thinking we've got to be out of here by 8, it will actually be 9. So we can actually get up at kind of a normal, reasonable time and get out of here fine. So I think we're all good. We just need to get some dinner. We want to go to the restaurant we've not been to yet. We've not been to, is it Cinnamon we've not been to, or Saffron? We've been to Cinnamon twice. We want to go to Saffron. So we're going to try and get into Saffron to see that one. And we'll probably meet you there once Anna's finished painting her face. Well, we've made it into Saffron. This is the other sit down and have people bring you bread restaurant that we hadn't been in yet. The menu looks good. For our final dinner, I think I'm going for squid and then probably the cod and then treacle tart. But there's loads of options. If you want to pay, you can go for the fancy bit of the menu as well, which I think Anna's going for the eaten mess because she loves eating mess. But this side is all included within the cruise fare, and it's actual proper waiter service rather than the free-for-all that is the buffet. And for me, the most exciting bit is they do bring you a little bread roll. And I love to be brought a little bread roll. Here we go then, starter o'clock. Anna has gone for mashed tomatoes. And I've got 2 pieces of squid. I know they give you small portions because it's 3 courses and you can order as many as you want. Can I immediately order another 4 of these because I know I like squid? But there's not loads of it here. Oh, actually, cancel that order. It's very chewy. Main course then. We've both gone for the same thing, which sounds like it's hot. Anna's just burned herself on it. Our phones have just clicked back to UK time, so we're celebrating with some fish and chips because we're officially home. So for dessert, Anna has the tidiest eating mess I've ever seen. And I've got what was described as a treacle tart, but looks more like a treacle sponge to me. I think we need to have a conversation about what constitutes a tart with the good people of P&O Cruises. And after a brief time jump, it's now just after 6 a.m. As you can see, we are back in Southampton. That is the port of Southampton over there. Somewhere over here is our car. I think where those lights are just there, I think is where the car is. The proper fancy folk are able to get off the ship within the next 20 minutes or so. When I say proper fancy, I mean the people willing to carry their own suitcases. We already had our suitcases collected, so we can't collect them from the terminal until our allotted getting off slot. So we have to be out of our cabin by 8 a.m. We can then leave the ship between 8:15 and 8:45. We have to go and wait somewhere else on the ship with our carry-on stuff before we're allowed off the ship in our slot. And then we just grab our stuff from the terminal, jump in a taxi, back to the car. If all goes to plan, we'll be driving away by 9 o'clock. Let's see if all goes to plan, I guess. But I think I'm going to put you away because I need to pack you into said carry-on so that I can, you know, carry it. So I'm just making myself a morning beverage. Devastated to realise, having not even tried to make a drink out of this all week, all of this coffee in here is decaf. I mean, that feels like a sick joke. So I'm having to have tea to try and give me some wake-up juice, and I'll have to grab a coffee on the road. I don't even think the place where we're waiting after we've left our cabin is going to be serving coffee. So I guess I could go down to the buffet, which theoretically opens at 7, but I can't imagine that's going to be much fun on disembarkation day, so I'm not going to risk that. And fingers crossed. I ever figured the only way you'll see me again in this video is if things didn't go to plan, because then I'll be telling you all about them. So if you have enjoyed this video and this trip, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for us. Subscribe to the channel for whatever trip we end up doing next. I don't even know what that will be. Thank you very much for watching.